What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is January 10th, 2020, and we're back at again on the charts. Our first trading week of the year has been completed, and it was a pretty good start. It wasn't as active like we would like it to be, but given the circumstances with the brink of World War III happening and NFP, we kind of had to pick and choose our spots. And we still got, a nice solid trade in that's in profit and counting. And we have two setups that we were waiting to enter, which kind of took their time. And so we elected to pass on them, and we're going to enter them next week. And so I'm just going to give everyone a quick second to settle in. I'm going to say morning to everyone in the chat on our portal. If you're new to our session, in today's session, I'm just going to go over how the week went, the setups we looked at, and then I'm going to do some analysis for next week, some setups that we can take. And I'll also be answering any questions and pair recommendations that you have. So please let me know, and I'll cover them at the end. So I'm going to say morning to everyone. And I'm just going to get back to some questions on the chat. Alright, perfect. So as I go live, guys, you can just drop your questions in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or on our portal, and I'll get to them as I go on along. But on Monday, if you joined Monday's free session, we looked at EURUSD, and from a long-term and a short-term perspective, we had a short bias. And on Tuesday's session at 11 a.m. Eastern, we took an entry live, and we went as deep as 55 pips and counting. And right now, we do see EURUSD kind of rebounding back up, and that's mainly due to the NFP results that came out this morning. You can see right here, 145K versus the forecasted 162K. So obviously that's not good for the dollar. Unemployment is still 3.5%, so that's obviously great. And the CAD had some good data as well. So this is the reason why the euro is starting to gain back on the dollar. But if you look, it's still relatively in line with our short bias. This just might be a reaction to the news, but we might continue going lower. And the daily still looks pretty good. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. Who knows what Trump will say about the Iran tax and whatnot. But definitely looking good from a weekly standpoint. You can see our descending channel come into play here. And we had a previous rally above, but the bears came back down and forced us to go lower. And so we do have an overall target of 1.09999, or just 1.10,000. And we're kind of, I think we're 40% of the way there. We still have a long ways to go. But this was a solid 50 pips to start off the week. And Tuesday night was when Iran kind of retaliated. So, Tuesday night was cut short. And then Wednesday we were waiting for Trump's response. And so Wednesday was a bit, hit and miss. And then we had the plane being shot down. So a lot of political and fundamental stuff really came into the way of the trading week. But we have a full almost 12 months to trade for the year. So we're not in no rush. But I was happy that we got a winner out of the week, and I'm not on the losing end. So this was the first winner of the year and the first trade. So that's great. And so another setup that we wanted to enter was pound dollar short, but it just never really got there. It just took its time. So this was the open on Monday, and we wanted pound dollar to come back below this monthly trend line to take us lower. And if you look at the the monthly time frame, you can see how bearish this is. So we have a trend line dating back to 2014, and we have a another touch in 2018, and this was when Boris Johnson got elected in. The monthly candle closed well above the trend line. We can see the sellers push back down. So all we need the sellers to do is really get below this trend line somewhere down here to take us to 1.20,000 and maybe even the historic lows for pound dollar. So I just read an article today from Bloomberg. Brexit is costing 170 billion for the UK and counting. So it's definitely not a good look. I think the initial push was just because of Boris Johnson getting in. So if you're on YouTube, I want to say hey to everyone. Someone, Dre Williams, made 600 on gold for NFP. That is awesome. That is totally awesome. Yeah, so yeah, trading news. We do have a video on how to trade news. It's on our YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and type in Forex Lens how to trade news. There's a video that I made that's pretty detailed, and you could have very well traded NFP. So pound dollar, we have a short bias. Hopefully next week we get sellers to kind of just push and make a sell-off down below this trend line, and we're good to go short. So that is the setup for next week that we're looking at least one of them. And on the weekly time frame, I'll plot the stop loss and take profit levels. So obviously, this is a great trade that you can probably carry over through the first quarter of the year. You can see like that right there. Stop loss is in a good spot. If price does come down here, if it does pop back up and it goes above these highs, then it's probably going to be a trend reversal. So that's where our stop loss is there. And our take profit levels will be every 30 or so pips, but this is just a rough guideline. On Monday's free session, I'll be giving take profit level specific levels if we do enter, but we first and foremost need that bearish closure somewhere down here. I'll look at pound Aussie for you, Dre, just at the end real quick. So yesterday someone asked me to look at USD CAD, and during the session it was looking like a long, but part of me wanted to wait. Just wait it out and see. So this was the candle where we went live, and I initially wanted to go long, but I think the person was Janny. Yeah, it was Janny. Was it Janny? Yes, it was. So yeah, Janny, he or she, I'm not sure if that's a guy or girl's name, but Janny recommended analysis for USD CAD. I had a long idea, but I wanted to see the next hour closure. And the next hour closure was bear, followed by a bear, followed by a bear. And that's why I did not call the signal on Telegram, because it was a fake out. This is a classic fake out. And this is why I always wait for a break, retest, and rejection. You see here, this is a nice level, this blue line right here. We had the break of the level. When we came down to retest, we didn't get a rejection to go higher. And this is a fake out, a classic fake out. Do not get faked out, because this is very, very common. A lot of people see a big bullish candle and want to enter immediately, but you have to wait for confirmation, and that's why we did not enter this setup. So the long bias is gone, and if you look, Janny, one of our trade room members, actually went short. So that's when you know how to trade, was when you find these key nuances in trading, like a fake out. And I'm happy, you went short, Janny. You probably made a decent amount of profit. So USD CAD, don't get faked out. A setup that we're currently in right now is USD Yen, also in some slight drawdown. It's actually back at entry. This setup was based on the daily time frame. Pretty simple, pretty clean. Let me just pan this over so you can see a nice distinct resistance level right here at 109.600. You can see multiple days. This is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. This is a whole week trying to get above this level, and we have just pushed above. We can see price wicked all the way up above here, but sellers pushed it down here. So 3-4 weeks, the last bit of 2019 going to the first week of 2020, we've been held down by 109.600, and so that's where we're looking to go short. And obviously you want to look to the left, so our targets go as deep as 108.200, could even be 108.425. This signal was sent on my Telegram with all these take profit levels down. That's what all these lines are. And so we're gonna carry this trade throughout the weekend, because I think it's in terms of risk reward, it's worth holding over the weekend. And I think the US-Iran stuff has kind of calmed down, but it's looking good. We're right at entry, and I like this closure on the daily. It's looking pretty bearish. So not much else to say about this, but a solid setup. And another setup that we were supposed to take, but we didn't just because it didn't meet our entry criteria, was USD-CHF. So as most of you know, USD-CHF and EURUSD are inverses. So if EURUSD goes down, USD-CHF goes up. And so since we shorted EURUSD, we wanted to possibly long USD-CHF to get a 2-for-1, but we never really got what we wanted, and that was a bullish closure above these highs at 0.97400, and that's why we did not go long. But You know, for us, our entry criteria is very simple and it's easy to follow. So when you join on Monday's session and we start looking for trades to enter, you'll see, you know, there's only a few rules you need to follow. So very simple way to make money in the Forex market if you keep things simple. I can't preach it enough. Keep the trading strategy simple, and you should see your account grow over time. So at this point, I'm going to start taking pair recommendations. So first off, we had Pound Aussie, Aussie Dollar, and someone also asked for Bitcoin. So I'll look at those. Let me see if the chat's good. So taking a look at Pound Aussie, I was actually looking at this before you went live, and it's looking like a pretty good sell-off. And it is a sell-off indeed. So this was a blue resistance region we drew, you know, at the start of 2019, and it's come into play again. So you know, this is multiple weeks being held down, right at 1.9500. You can see this is a classic fake out, a push to the top side, and one of my favorite candles was printed. This candle right here, I like to call it as a teardrop candle or an inverted hammer, shooting star, etc. That was printed, and then we saw Pound Aussie just fucking melt. And so I would honestly be inclined to tell you to short it probably next week. But the only problem is we are coming to some support right here. You can see last time we came from this level, we did get a rally from this level right here at 1.89150. You can see a push up, a retrace back, a push up, retrace back, and we did this for multiple days, a week straight, before we finally pushed up and we came back again. So this is a level where we'll probably stall for Pound Aussie, Dre. So what you should do is probably wait for a closure on the 4 hour below this level to take us lower, because in the past when that's happened, we did go lower. So be sure not to get faked out. Let's actually see the 4 hour. And so looking to the left, you can see this level that we just talked about, 1.89150, a strong support. And if you look very closely at this level, we've never had a bearish closure below this level. None of these candle closures are bearish, so we want a fat bearish candle below this level to take us lower. And you can see when we had, you know, a bearish closure below, we even had a pushback, a retrace, rejection, and we did head lower. So that's all we're looking for. This scenario right here, right over here. So basically, this we wanted to happen here. Very simple, and you can have an awesome setup. So next week's looking pretty juicy. We already have pound yen possible short, pound USD possible short, and now we have pound Aussie possible short. So 2.5 risk reward, pretty solid. Our take profits, obviously the last area of confluence, and that's down here at 1.87 thousand. So hopefully that's what you saw, Dre. Okay, so Dre's holding about 300 profit, and he's looking to hold over the weekend. Yeah, if you want, you could just make sure your stop's at entry. How many pips do we make monthly? So we have 5 signal providers. I'm one of them. I do the trading room as well. With our 5 signal providers, we each make 300 pips per week for each provider. So that's 300 pips per month. So that's around 1,500 pips monthly for all 5 providers, and pretty good accuracy. So for me, I tend to go for intraday and swing trade setups. Some of our other providers are high volume traders, and they go for intraday setups. So yeah, we have a variety of providers, and so for me, I try to aim for the trade room, I just try to aim for 300 pips a week on good accuracy, so we don't over leverage and over risk. So nice, good progress. I'm happy you're making profits, Dre. Someone asked for Aussie dollar. I'll give that a look. I think we did talk about Aussie dollar yesterday. Yeah, we did. So just gonna head to the weekly, and so Aussie dollar, we had a pretty mixed bias. So just straight off the monthly, the weekly time frame, you can see a nice distinct downtrend, and we did break out of it in December. And so what price did right now is come off resistance, and it's looking like it's going to retest this previous trend line. So you might have a scenario where price pulls back deep down here, and then we look for a rejection to go long. Intraday, let's see if there's anything on the intraday. Yeah, so intraday you can kind of see what we're talking about. So our trend line right here, very clean, a nice break. And if you see when we broke that trend line, we did come back and retest it. And then we got a rejection going long. So that was a nice setup there. And now we have potential to do that again. So price is coming down below. And depending on what happens here, we could have a short because this area is a nice area of confluence. So if we do have a short, the next daily candle is a bear. We could have a sell-off down to maybe one of these levels. So maybe down to here. So something like this could happen. Rejection candle, take us down below. And one of the take profits could be right at this trend line. So wherever we touch at that trend line could be one take profit. The next one, if we get a break below, could be this kind of support we've made at 0.66970. So that's Aussie dollar. If anyone has any pair recommendations, let me know on YouTube or the portal. Before I take a look at Bitcoin, and I do want to look at gold also. So Jorge Martinez, I think I'm pronouncing that right. How often do I do these live sessions? These live sessions happen every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern in our portal. And this is our portal where I can chat to all my my traders. So someone just asked, can you look at pound yen? And obviously I'm going to say yes. So this is a nice chat where you can talk to me and also watch the live. So if I click this play button, you actually see the YouTube screen. And we do this every day. And Monday and Friday are our free sessions. And Monday is when we usually get a rough bias for what trades we want to enter. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we actually enter the trades. And then Friday is when we talk about the profits we made, how the week went, and then plan for next week. So if you're looking to sign up, Jorge, you can actually go to forexlens.com/forex-trading-room. And you have two options here. You can sign up for a free membership coming on Monday and Friday. You can also get full access for $97 a month. At the end of every session, I do give a 25% off coupon code. So if you want to get 25% off your first month, so around $74, just wait till the end of the session and I'll give you that coupon code. And so there you can sign up and you can see us in the portal. And so I'm going to take a look at pound yen since someone requested. And then we'll look at gold and Bitcoin. And if anyone has any questions after which I can answer. And that'll be great. So pound yen. I'm looking for one of the charts we've done recently. That's fine. We'll just create a new one. Oh, here it is. Cool. So pound yen. This was also asked in yesterday's session by one of our members, and we did a full top-down analysis of pound yen. You can actually find this snippet on our IG, but overall our bias is short. You can see on the weekly time frame we've made a nice descending channel. And this is similar to pound USD. When Boris Johnson was elected, we saw a nice rally, but then the sellers and investors came back in and pushed pound yen back down below. And so the overall idea is if sellers can push down below this trend line, back within the descending channel, we can head lower to new lows, probably to 129 even. So that's obviously in a long-term scale. On a daily, we'd have a possible short. And that was off this level, this resistance at 143.755. So we are waiting for pound yen to get there, but it was just been slaving and moving so slow at a snail's pace that it just didn't get there. But this was a pending setup we had yesterday. It might be activated on Sunday or Monday, but it's taking its sweet time to get to resistance. So that's what we had planned, and obviously if we do get that rejection, we're taking a short to an intraday level at 141.133 and a stop loss at 144.550. So a pretty nice setup. You can make almost 200 pips on an intraday setup, especially with pound yen since it moves so much per pip. So that's pound yen, Marco. Hopefully that makes sense to you and that's what you're seeing on the charts. Let me know if you have a long bias and I'll probably take a different look. And at this point I'm going to look at Bitcoin, and I will give you guys a coupon code to get 25% off your first month. So we do look at Bitcoin from time to time. We mainly do Forex, but if someone asks, I'm more than happy to do it. So Bitcoin, in short, has made a rally, a significant rally. So at the end of the year, we had a target of 6,000. We went pretty damn close. We were 40 pips away, but since then it kind of made a rally. And so in yesterday's session, I drew this green trend line right here. I know it's an obnoxious color, but bear with me. It's this green trend line right here, and I just plotted this to show you that Bitcoin does have these impulse moves, these signs of relief, where it does, after a huge move, it has a huge push up, a huge move, a huge push up. And so I do see a huge, move coming up to this trend line, and then going lower again. If it does break above this trend line, I'm going to start looking for longs for Bitcoin. And I usually don't. I'm usually bearish on crypto in general, but you have to sometimes go with the trend and not with, your own opinion. But right now, we're already seeing Bitcoin pull back, so this might be as far as the retrace will go. But the target for 2020, or even for the first quarter, is 6,000 flat, and after that, we can even go lower to 3,000. So that's Bitcoin, and I think that'll be done. If anyone has any last-minute pair recommendations, please let me know. And at this point, I'll give everyone a coupon code to get 25% off their first month, and they can try us out. So the coupon code is very simple. I'm gonna put it right here. It is 25 capital O capital F, and all you do is click get full access, fill out this form. It'll take around 2 minutes, and on the next page at checkout, apply this coupon code 25 capital O capital F to get 25% off your first month. So that is that. RP Forex. I do host free sessions on Monday and Friday, so I'll see you again on Monday if you need one more session to try us out. So Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll be going live again. You can also sign up for a free membership, and you can log into the portal and talk to us. Marco asked for gold, so I'll do that quickly. We also have some education stuff, bunch of courses that you can look at. So and all these live sessions are recorded as they go live, so in case you miss it, you can watch it an hour after the session. It'll be in our portal to watch, so you see our this week's live sessions here. So I'm gonna take a look at gold real quick, because we did look at it at the start of the week, and then I think I'll be good for today. So gold, it was mainly a political thing with gold. So this is a huge move that happened when Iran attacked the U.S. bases in Iraq, and since then, the markets kind of reacted after the fact and came back down. And so what we're seeing right now is a classic break, retest, and maybe a rejection happening. So if we look at the monthly for gold, you can kind of see what we're talking about. So gold, this was the highest for gold. It went as high as 1917, and when it came back down to earth, it used this blue region as support for many months, for a whole 2 years. And so at the end of 2019, we made a push above, and for the past 5 months, we were held by this blue region. Since the first month of January, we made an attempt to go higher. And so my whole thought process is, if the monthly candle can close bullish, we're definitely going up to 1800 for gold, just based off price action. And so what we're trying to find is an intraday setup to take us there, without being stuck in a swing trade for a whole 12 months. And so the weekly time frame is a bit confusing. It's obviously a very bearish candle right now, and this was a whole political related candle, and that's why it's very confusing in nature. So I think for gold, we should probably wait until next week, maybe the midweek, for the markets to kind of catch up with all the news, and to kind of figure its way out, because the price action is pretty mixed. Obviously, this candle screams a sell, but it could very well be an illusion and can take us higher. So just a word of advice, Marco. But in terms of short, if we do get a close below the blue resistance region, we're headed lower. This was a setup I gave in yesterday's session, and it still stands as long as we get that bearish closure maybe at 1530. So 1530, if we have a bearish closure like we did in the past, like one of these candles, we're definitely headed lower with targets at 1512, with the next one at 1485, and then one at 1452. So we have a few intraday targets and a swing level target. So that's what I see for gold, Marco. Hopefully you see the same, and we can always take another look on Monday. So I think that's a good spot to leave off this session. Nice 30-minute session. And so that will be that, guys. So the coupon code 25 off. Everyone else, I'll see you Monday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy those profits well and trade responsibly. Peace.